The LIV Tour LIV Golf has just released their calendar for its touring year in 2023, which will contain 25 events that are planned to be played all over the world, and some of the LIV players are already thinking of dropping out. Why, you may ask? The bad news rocking the LIV Tour Golf are all the reasons you need to know. While the LIV Golf Tour will be played all over the world, from Thailand to the States and from Great Britain to Saudi Arabia, as an international league with some of the world's strongest players from across the world, there is still a lot of negative air around the golf tour. One of the major bad news about the LIV Golf Tour is Shane Lowry's complete disgust for it. Shane Lowry believes the ridiculously disgusting amount of money that is in the LIV professional golf risks antagonizing fans, and that he has, quote, never contemplated, end quote, joining the LIV Tour Golf, as he thinks it's not best for the golf game. Greg Norman, the major figurehead behind the Saudi-funded LIV Tour Golf Series, has gone on to defend the competition and says that the PGA Tour is, quote, trying to destroy the controversial LIV Golf Tour. The 67-year-old is the chief executive of the Saudi-backed Maverick Tour that has attracted Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka, Dustin Johnson, and Cameron Smith, and he has repeatedly claimed that attempts to discuss the best way all the tours can coexist have been negatively turned down. He said in the Australian, quote, "This notion we're trying to destroy tours is not true. The PGA Tour is trying to destroy us. It's as simple as that. The PGA Tour has not sat down and had a conversation with myself or any of my investors. We tried awfully hard. I know I did personally for the past year. When we knew we were never going to hear from them, we just decided to go. We have no interest in sitting down with them, to be honest with you, because our product is working," end quote. Some of the world's best golfers, such as Dustin Johnson, Phil Mickelson, and Norman, who have chosen to stick to the Rebel Tour series, have received a lot of negative criticism because of the human rights abuses that were carried out by the Saudi regime. In the United States, the popular sport newscaster Bob Costas dished out an annihilative evaluation of the LIV Golf Tour series, claiming that it was the Saudi blood money. He further went on to say this, quote, "We know all we need to know about the royal family and what they have done. It's not just Jamal Khashoggi, it's not just the ongoing oppression of women and gays. They're directly or indirectly tied, according to US and British intelligence, to the 9/11 event," end quote. That's not all. Even the PGA Tour has sunk its teeth into the LIV Golf Series to damage it further, as they have banned golfers who joined the Golf Series. Greg Norman was furious at this and lashed back with these words, quote, "Look, if they want to look at it in a prism, then why does the PGA Tour have 23 sponsors within the PGA Tour doing $40+ billion worth of business with Saudi Arabia? Why is it okay for the sponsors? Why is it okay that there's a Saudi sponsor? Aramco, the largest sponsor of women's golf in the world. Why is it okay for them? Why is it not okay for these players? Will the PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan go to each and every one of those CEOs of the 23 companies that are investing into Saudi Arabia and suspend them and ban them? The hypocrisy in all this. It's so loud, it's deafening," end quote. Last month, Phil Mickelson was forced to defend himself against families of the 9/11 victims who had attacked him on his decision to join the LIV Golf Tour Series. While most players may enjoy playing on the LIV Golf Tour Series, as exciting as it sounds, some players may end up regulated and banned from the PGA and DP Golf World Tours. And as you would expect, it's from one bad news to another bad news, as LIV Golf have reportedly struggled to find a US TV deal, as the Golf Series has been termed too toxic. While the LIV Golf has some major funding and an unlimited treasure chest due to its backing from the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund, its major revenue driver is TV rights fees. However, the new LIV Golf Tour Series League is struggling with it. While figures have been heavily concealed, it is reported that the PGA Tour makes about $700 million per year, with its current deal with its United States television partners that runs through till 2031. On the other hand, LIV Golf has been putting out its event on YouTube Live. They've been searching and looking for a TV rights deal that will not only boost their revenue but also add to their aim to become a contending golf tour amongst the likes of the DP World Tour and the PGA Tour. Let's take this instance to properly put this in better perspective. The CBS's live coverage of the final round of the RBC Canadian Open, organized by the PGA Tour, drew an audience and viewers from over the world at an average of 2.8 million persons. Meanwhile, the final round of the LIV Golf Tour Series' second event in Portland, Oregon in July garnered a view of 93,000 live viewers on YouTube. While it looks like the LIV Tour Golf Series might be getting a TV deal soon, reports say otherwise. This is because, despite the appetite of numerous media companies for live sports, getting a deal for LIV Golf is easier said than done. It is still not clear where LIV Golf will be broadcast in 2023, as a well-placed source says that Apple TV has repeatedly turned down the opportunity to get on board with the LIV Golf, as it claims that it is too toxic. Although, CEO of LIV Golf, Greg Norman, has stated that there are ongoing negotiations with networks and that a lot of offers are being put on the table. This report from Apple TV claims otherwise. It also shows that several media companies are hesitant about investing in a brand that has ties to the government of Saudi Arabia. Quite clearly, if a lucrative TV deal does not surface soon enough, the options for the LIV Golf Series include starting a streaming platform owned by them, buying time on networks to gain viewership, and also to continue to broadcast on YouTube and other social platforms. Add to all of these the controversies that surround the LIV Golf Tour, and you've got a green field filled with holes of worms. Amnesty International UK has accused LIV Golf players of being insensitive. In Amnesty International UK's words, quote, "The golf players playing in LIV Golf are willing stooges of Saudi sports washing," end quote. They claim that this is due to the appalling human rights record of the Gulf Kingdom. The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, also the head of the PIF, is alleged to have ordered the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, a Washington Post journalist, in 2018. Sasha Deshmukh, the chief executive of Amnesty International UK, said that, quote, "It's been extremely disappointing to hear a number of golf's best-known figures attempting to play down the terrible murder of Jamal Khashoggi while sidestepping the real gravity of Saudi Arabia's appalling human rights record. Rather than acting as the willing stooges of Saudi sports washing, we'd like to see golfers at the LIV Golf Invitational speaking out about human rights abuses in Saudi Arabia. Solidarity with Saudi Arabia's beleaguered human rights community is incredibly important, and at the moment, the LIV Golf Series is displaying very little of this," end quote. Amidst the negative news of the LIV Golf is that it wasn't really needed. I mean, the PGA Tour was delivering superbly well with their sensational product and had numerous outstanding players under the age of 25 and also veterans who were among the game's greatest players. Also, they had stakes that were very real. There is no cut on the LIV Golf, and the tournaments are only 54 holes. And the worst part is that there are guaranteed checks for even the last place finisher. This means that there isn't really any significant stake and that there is nothing for the players to play for. However, the PGA Tour has otherwise. The cuts are there and the stakes are significant. There's always something to play for, from keeping one's tour card or getting into the playoffs at the end of the season to qualifying for the Masters. Also, the players at the LIV Golf are not accumulating any official world golf ranking points, and this means that there is coming a time where they will not be able to play in the majors. At this point, it's safe to say that LIV Golf might just affect the game of golf and its growth negatively.